Welcome back to Let's See. And those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Anamika, and this is a community to help you heal yourself, which will help me heal myself in return. Because as I said, healing is a two-way road. It's been long since I had a word with you guys. I was, as usual, having a negative self talk with myself. I was sort of berating myself, criticizing and self sabotaging, saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you're not sufficient, you're not efficient, you're not this, you're not that, until I realized that I'm doing it again. It's a spiral, I'm in that loop again, and I have to be mindful of it. And that's when it hit me. Why not talk about it with you all while trying to counsel myself as well? Um, it's great that we are getting so vocal and aware about mental health and we are concerned about it, and every day there are a number of blog posts and blogs and articles about self-love, self-care, and one of the key factors of practicing self-love, taking care of yourself, is self-kindness, self-compassion. And while it's important to know that you need to practice self-kindness, self-compassion, you need to be kind to yourself, and luckily we have a lot of portals these days, a lot of mediums and platforms to help us know that, not many of them talk about how to have kindness to yourself, how to practice that, because we as a species have not been in the habit of knowing how to love ourselves, how to keep ourselves as a priority, how to be kind to ourselves. In order to try and maintain our relationships with others, we are sort of happy to lick their boots even if they've done some incorrigible things with us, and we are sort of ready to give them the benefit of doubt. We are kind to them, we're compassionate to them because we love them and we want them around us, and we are just willing to give them that chance after chance after chance. But how many of us do the same thing to ourselves? Not many. Again, I'm not talking about self-obsession or narcissism. I'm talking about a balanced, healthy love you have for yourself, a healthy relationship you have with yourself. And kindness, self-compassion, self-empathy are one of the key factors for you to have it. Now, having said that, how do we have it? Because obviously, all of us are mature enough and adult enough to know that these things are important. But since we don't have enough examples to look up to and we don't have that culture to follow, we have not been trained that way, it becomes really difficult to, start following it. And honestly, I don't have a, go-to guide to it either. It's just my own experience that I would again share with you. So these days, because of, my personal challenges with my mental and physical health, there are a lot of things that I'm lacking behind in, that I'm not competing in. And being the ambitious and passionate person that I am, and having so many dreams, so many unrealistic, unattainable seeming dreams, it becomes really difficult for me to manage and balance all of it. And then I, as I told you, go back to that negative self talk, to that spiral, to that loop where I'm just criticizing myself, blaming myself, even though I know it's not my fault, that I'm stuck in this bad health mess and whatever. And I'm sure it's the same with all of you, or most of you, or many of you. Whether you're suffering from a mental or physical illness, or it's just that things are not going well in your life, whatever the issue is, some, or maybe most of the times, it's not exactly your fault, or it's not only your fault, because there are a lot of external factors that we can't control. But if we can control something, is ourselves, our inner selves, the internal conflicts and challenges and sort of dialogue that we have. That is something that is still in our control. It's up to us how to make it happen. One of the key factors of being kind to yourself, I think, is first making peace with whatever your current reality is. You have to accept that you are in that situation and then move forward along with it and as per it. You have to understand that cribbing and cringing and whining about it is not going to help anybody, let alone you. What you can do is you can accept it, and then you can move forward to look for ways to improve it. If it's a bad financial situation, if it's a bad relationship, if it's a bad professional environment that you're working in, or if it's your health, or if it's all of the above or many of the above, you have to look for your way to, let that solution and that healing seep in. And one of the most initial steps is, of course, self-love. having a healthy relationship with yourself, and that stems from kindness and empathy, and you have to have it for yourself first before having it for anyone else, because if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you are never going to get there, where you have a healthy balanced life personally and professionally and with other people, because it doesn't work that way. It all stems from here and here. So you have to really work on that, and the way to do it is just accept your reality, make peace with it, forgive yourself. Please have this inner dialogue, or just say it out loud and have these affirmations, and just put it out there in the universe that you forgive yourself. Tell it to yourself. You forgive yourself, you forgive other people around you, whoever did you wrong, because it's important for your healing, it's important for your moving on, that you forgive the situation, you forgive the circumstances, you forgive the other people involved, and you forgive yourself, and you accept the situation, and then you look for ways to improve it. Whatever is it that is in your hands to improve it, whether it's a disease that you can't really seem to cure, you do your research, you make yourself educated, you make yourself aware, and you look for healers that can truly help you. If it's a bad relationship that you're stuck in, then you sort of have a one-on-one talk with yourself, and you figure out why are you stuck in that relationship, or whether it's possible for you to work it out, or it's just time to move on. And same goes with your career, with your profession, with the kind of friendships and relationships you have around you. You have to choose what's best for you. You have to stop settling, or staying stuck in wrong and toxic relationships. You have to know when to close the chapter and move on and leave the story behind, because that is not your story anymore. And that comes when you have love and empathy and compassion and kindness for yourself, and that will come with practice. You have to take each day at a time. You have to take baby steps. You have to, you also have to be kind to yourself, and being kind to yourself, because sometimes in the hope, or with the goal of being loving to yourself, and trying to practice self-love and mindfulness, and self-empathy and self-compassion and self-kindness, we also again fall in the loop of being too harsh to ourselves. You're not doing it enough, you're not doing it correctly, and XYZ blah 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 things. So you really have to sort of rein yourself there and tell yourself that it'll be fine, it'll take time, and it's all in your hands, in your power. Of course, I understand that there are a lot of external factors that you can't control. Sometimes your body and mind are also sort of don't behave and don't listen to you. Trust me, I know it, because I'm going through it. But despite that, there's still a lot that you can control. There's still a lot that is still in your hands. So you have to find that balance. You have to do a lot of hit and trial and see what does and does not work for you, and then move accordingly. And as I said, there is no straightjacket go-to guide for it. It's not a watertight compartment solution kind of a thing. It's to each his own kind of thing. Whatever works for you, however it works for you, and however fast or slow you go with it. You have to decide your pace, you have to decide your ritual, and you have to decide how much you want to do it. It's all up to you. The only thing that remains constant is practice. All of us have to keep going. It's okay, you can settle down, you can chill, you can take breaks and all of that, but just don't stop there. Keep going, and it'll stick. You will fall in love with yourself, you will forgive yourself, you will be kind to yourself, and once you do that, half the battle will be won. All of your problems will somehow start to diminish, even if they're not solved altogether, and your healing will begin. So I'll stop rambling now. I hope this helped you somewhere. I hope this helps me somewhere, and all of us can find our way mutually towards that healing and that self-discovery of self-love. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Let me know in the comment section below what helps you practice self-love and self-kindness and self-compassion and self-empathy and all of the things that help in self-growth. And also let me know if this video helped you, or what are your suggestions to me, and what more topics would you like me to talk on. And stay healthy.